Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Ghostly French Toast. And similar to Elden Ring's release trailer, I am late to the party by like a month. Once again, I love my time management skills. I'm always late. Elden Ring Night Rain hopes. I've been planning to make this video for weeks on weeks on weeks, and then I keep pushing it off, and then I watched the video yesterday. I'm like, shit, I should be doing this as an Elden Ring content creator and from software lore fanatic, whatever you want to call it. I think it is important that I talk about this. So, I feel like if we're going to talk about Night Rain, we got to talk about at least the basics of Night Rain. Three-player co-op, it's a roguelike, and if you don't know what a roguelike is, the whole point of a roguelike is you die and replay the game to become better and better each run. And it's normally a smaller map, whatever. They're like 5-minute levels. And in this game, it takes place in Limbo. Very creative naming from software is very silly, goofy like that, like the lands between it and the land of shadows. What can I say? There's some genius namers over there. Lore splits off after shattering. What I mean by that, so with Night Rain's lore, it starts. So you have the regular Elden Ring lore, and then it splits off once the shattering happens. So in one timeline, so you have like some MCU type shit. You have one timeline where it's like, oh, you got the demigods fighting Melania, Radahn. And this timeline, you have Night Rain, and that's what happens. Which I think is going to be a very interesting, and people are going to be like, oh, it's going to be mid, whatever. This is a side project that From Software has worked on, and every side project has been almost, if not better, than their regular projects. I'm a big AC6 guy. AC6 is amazing. I'm a big Sekiro guy. And Bloodborne was technically a side project to a bigger game, to Dark Souls 3. They were considered side projects. And this is $40, which is the same price, it's cheaper, but I think it's gonna have a lot of content in it. What I mean by that, it's also a battle royale kind of style. There's a shrinking storm, so of course you gotta get the Fortnite people in here, bro. Why not? At this rate, get everybody in there. Everybody on you had everyone coming in for Elden Ring. Now you gotta get the Fortniters real. Okay, so one of the big controversies with the game is old boss reuse, and I have a love-hate relationship with this because old bosses I think is a very good idea because From Software already used a bunch of old boss designs and movesets in Elden Ring, and I think this is more of a combination of all their works. You know, they're gonna bring in Raven. They're gonna bring in what's it called? All Mine. They're gonna bring in All Mine as the final one of the Night Rain Lords, which will go crazy. Or bring in the Ice Worm. But I think this is a very good idea to help bring people back because it's also you have all these new bosses that everyone's talking about. I remember when Nameless King came out. There's a lot of people who didn't know Nameless King and now are playing Dark Souls 3. I think this is such a great idea. So I know people have given their opinions on it, and you already see one of my opinions on who should bring back. And okay, I also think there's going to be rules. So I don't think there's going to be very big lore significant bosses. What I mean by that, I really hope Gale comes back. I would love if Gale comes back, but I don't think they're going to bring Gale back, just because his lore significance. And if we look at every other character that's been kind of teased, they have major lore from the past, but they don't have story implications like Gale. So like ones that have been teased, Nameless King. Nameless King has some crazy ass lore, but he doesn't have very big story implications. So if you took him out of Dark Souls 3, it wouldn't be really missing much. You would be missing some of the lore of Archdragon Peak, but you wouldn't be missing much. Look at Dear Duke Freya. You wouldn't be really missing much. It's just a giant spider. Centipede demon. It's just a guy who ate a centipede that ate a ring and grew. So I think it's not going to be very lore significant or story significant. So I took that into consideration. Dark Lurker. The best Dark Souls 3 boss, or Dark Souls 2 boss. Dark Lurker is the GOAT. Bring back Dark Lurker. You know how cool it would split up in like 3 copies of itself. And I think that's just a great idea for a boss, right? Especially with the 3-player co-op being like specifically a big idea. Bring back Dark Lurker. Dancer of the Boreal Valley. Reason being, so From Software has really been trying to, especially in Elden Ring, you have to balance out with mimics, all that summons. So I think having the Dancer, because the Dancer, I think out of all the Dark Souls 3 bosses, is a very good boss when it comes to dealing with crowd control. She has a lot of spinning attacks and a lot of AoEs. So I think having that would balance her very well, to be honest. Give her increased HP, increased damage, of course. But I think that'd be a really good idea. Champ Gundyr. This is just me because I love Champ Gundyr. Champ Gundyr is one of my favorite darks. Besides Gale and Madeir, I think Champ Gundyr is my favorite. I think the most fun boss in the game. Champ Gundyr, I think, wouldn't be the best because he doesn't have that many AoE or like sweep attacks, whatever you want to call it. But Champ Gundyr would be pretty solid. I would love Champ Gundyr. The Penetrator. If we're going all the way back, because people are also speculating Bloodborne's going to come back. I don't think Bloodborne, because in the picture that looks like Lady Maria, but that is not Lady Maria, and I can tell that for a fact. I'm willing to put money on it. But I say we bring back the Penetrator. Penetrator would be fucking goated, because that was the best Demon Souls boss. That would be such a great callback. Or Tower Knight. And so, as much as I say Bloodborne's not going to come back, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring. Put Dark Beast Parl on there. Dark Beast Parl is not a big, very significant boss, but he's one of the more fun bosses. Or put any of the Plumerians. I'm horrible. Bloodborne is not my specialty, but if you guys wanted me to talk about Bloodborne more, I will totally talk about Bloodborne more. PvP. So in an article, they originally stated no PvP yet. Bring back PvP. I think Night Rain is to fix all of Elden Ring's problems. This is such a great, like, clean slate, but you're building off how good Elden Ring was. Bring back PvP. It fixes Elden Ring, because I think something that I've noticed where this whole game is fixing Elden Ring's problem. One of the biggest problems with Elden Ring is the co-op feature. And this brings in seamless co-op. And I think that is such a great concept to have. But they didn't have that in the game. So I think having seamless co-op in Night Rain is such a great idea, and this brings in PvP, bringing Covenant. There is a mode Covenant in the original game, where I think if you have that, it's going to elevate the game so much. Customization, another big thing. Oh, you didn't see that. So it's been confirmed that there's not really different armor sets. There's skins. So you're going to the Fortnite item shop. You're purchasing Elden bucks, which I think is kind of peak. Not gonna lie. It fixes Elden Ring's tailoring system. I think another one of the biggest flaws is Elden Ring's tailoring system. They sold so hard where you can only take off capes and customize very little stuff about it. So I think they should add dyeing outfits, like dyeing outfits different color. You know how Omega, you can get the Omega lights in Elden Ring. You know how peak that would be? The Elden Ring Omega lights. Skim rewards for challenges. So another good game that I think that a good roguelike that I think does this very well is Dead Cells. Dead Cells has these boss rush modes, and not to spoiler, but I think that's my next slide. Boss rush challenges where if you do challenges, you can decorate a statue, or if you do certain like no hits, whatever, you get skin rewards, and I think that's a great reason to incentivize. And I think that's one of the biggest things that needs to be good, because Elden Ring, one of Elden Ring's big problems was it didn't have any incentivizations to replay the game. Because once you replay it, it's such a great first playthrough, but once you replay it, you kind of played everything. Boss rush. Add a boss from software. Add a boss rush mode, and my life will be yours. All Souls games. You have all Souls bosses. Why not fucking do it? This is fix every other game's mistake. This is the culmination of everything that you worked on from software. Make a boss rush challenges, similar to Dead Cells, what I was talking about earlier. If they do that, that's such a great idea and great concept. Fix Elden Ring's mistakes. That is the biggest thing I think I can take away. This game is to fix Elden Ring's mistakes. I think it do it very well, and I hope it does it very well. But yeah, that's it for this time. Sorry it took me forever to make this, and I'll see you next time on Ghostly French Toast.